oh, these are my friends, let's follow us. It's really it's complicated, which is why when it works like Beverly Hills. It is all crazy upon crazy. By the way, I saw Kathy Hilton in person at an event, and we chatted for a little while. She looks unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, and you know me, I will get up there and, really look. Oh my God. Oh
I've
my
seen her in
God.
person too. It's great. It's all good.
It's the best I've ever seen her look. Like, and I also, at this QVC event, met Long Island Medium, and I wanted to take a picture so that I could get up in the hair when we were taking the picture. So I made sure she was sitting and I was like over this way so I could really see what was going on in that hair. And it looked like a lot of teasing and hairspray, but actually hers. Am
Did
I
you
a bad
ask?
person for that?
No, that's not bad at all. I mean, look, she's known for her hair. We love Teresa Caputo. I've had her on here, and she invited me to one of her shows, and I went. I'm somewhat in the middle on that, and it was just like, I mean, it was. You think you're going for a night, but I mean, even me with my cold black heart was like in tears basically by the end of it because
Yeah.
the people she reads, I mean, I don't know, it's
Yeah.
really
But I got up in that hair, you know.
well.
And I had my glasses on, so we know it wasn't, like, blurry. But going back to Beverly Hills, 'cause I forgot that
Did you
to
ask Kathy for her surgeon?
Kathy asked me for my skin person,
Okay,
which I
well, that's a
thought was
compliment.
that was a compliment,
Yeah.
because she's feels like she's getting some spots, and she's like, "Your skin is amazing," and I'm like, "I'm not gonna lie, I have lasered the shit out of my skin getting ready for the wedding," so she wanted my laser person. But she
Okay,
looks
well,
good. I mean, she looks, I think, better than any of them right now.
yeah.
The hair's softer, like, she looks awesome, but you said there is, with Beverly Hills, all sorts of moving pieces.
Well, Garcelle left, so we know that. I think everyone is probably going to come back, but they're still trying to fill Garcelle's role, which the rumor is they're going to bring two people in to replace one.
But why did Garcelle leave? What have you heard? What was the real reason Because I love Garcelle. She is so lovely. I know her. I know, but again, I know someone. I'm not in their everyday life, but every interaction I've had with Garcelle has been positive.
Well, she says, look, she is producing movies and she's busy and she's an actress. I mean, for all we know, they could be announcing some, at upfronts what the fall lineup is, and she could be on like CSI, whatever, she might have a part, but she says she wants to spend more time with her kids. It's their last year in high school. Look, she was at the reunion and she walked out and basically quit. I think it had to do with Sutton and Kyle because like Sutton, they were going around and saying what the best part of their season was. And Garcelle's one friend, Sutton Garcelle, said basically Sutton. I forgot the exact things. And when it came to Sutton, she said the fact that I'm, kind of becoming friends with Erica again. And Garcelle's sitting there like what? Like no one has my back on this cast. And like Sutton is accused of kissing up to Kyle. And then also, I think they were all going around and pretending like Morgan Wade doesn't exist because Kyle asked them not to mention her before the season starts. Even Andy is pretending. And Andy said, well, hopefully next season we'll see you maybe dating. And Garcelle was looking around like, what? Like, this isn't reality. Like, she is dating, possibly. I mean, I think she's dating. And Garcelle is just like, I'm in the Twilight Zone. I mean, she didn't say this, but she then walked out after the whole Kyle thing and the Sun thing. That's why I think she
So
left.
because I didn't see it, she literally got up and walked off set.
She said, well, then it was time. It was ending, and they said, let's take a cast picture. This was like, and she's like, I'm out of here. I'm not doing a picture. And she just walked to her dressing room and she's like, I'm out of here. Fuck this. And then she's like, peace out. And then apparently everyone that was there, like Erica then did some interview and was like, she did leave. So I think like they knew before us that this was the end.
Mhm. And what about Kyle? What's gonna go on there?
Listen, the people are not so happy with Kyle these days. People are just not feeling it. They're like, which listen, that's what happened with Teresa. Like it happens, like I don't even blame these people, right? Like I just think if you are like the number one on the show after so many years, the people just come for you eventually, right? Like it's not fair or unfair. It just seems to be the way it works.
Well, they become exhausting and sometimes don't have necessarily the self-awareness to change or have been boxed in so much by the network that this is your role that it starts to get, tiring. Like, people are like, "Give me something else."
Give me something else. Well, Kyle, look, she's not in jeopardy of losing her job. I think she's
No.
one of the, I think she's the most protected housewife at the moment. You know, people joke that it's her show. I mean, it is,
It
she's,
is.
yeah, it is.
It is Kyle's show.
It is Kyle's show. And by the way, I've spoken to people on the cast that have said, thank God, because Kyle produces like from within. She is there, but she goes over to people, if you really watch closely, and like brings them in where she's not involved in a conversation and tries to bring things out of them. So I really do think Kyle wants to make a good show and knows how to do it. And she's like a producer who's also one, which is as a producer, you know, that's not an easy skill.
No, but you also know what you need. You know what you need, and at one point you're like, "Okay, I'm just gonna get what we need
Right.
because
And I
I'm done for the
Right.
day."
That is where I think Kyle's at. So I think, but I think people are like, you know, Morgan's there. So to talk about that, talk more about Mauricio. It's over. Like just share because everyone else is sharing and we're just tired of it. You have two standards here. And
Do
Andy seems to have two standards and everybody, the network seems to have two standards. So I think people are coming for Kyle.
do you think Kyle and Morgan are still together? Because 'Cause they've been completely underground.
I think they're still together. I do. I didn't for a long time. I was like, everyone just calm down. I think Kyle's totally in love. Yes, I really do. It's my honest opinion.
That's interesting. Well, speaking of couples that have gone really underground,
Yes,
Taylor and Travis have
your favorites.
literally gone underground. Just recently, the first pictures of them out have come out, and it was, someone taking pictures in a restaurant. Like, you can see they are completely candid. I think that's the smartest thing they could have done, and it
Why?
because they both I think their people both knew there was saturation. People were getting sick of it. It was like, "Enough already," you know? And I think to me, it proves that it's a real relationship. They had basically a year and a half of constant coverage. You could not get away from it if you tried. And I kind of love the fact that for them, they are now living a private life and having a private conversation. The one thing I do have to say is there was a picture that came out where Travis was changing his shirt, and he calls himself his nickname is the Big Yeti, but he was changing his shirt and he had, like, massive back hair.
I
So that's
saw that.
that's like, oh, so Taylor doesn't mind back hair? I don't know, that there's something about that that just made me but that's just me,
I wasn't such a fan of it
and so, like, oh
myself.
yeah, and so but, like, now you and I were chatting, if he waxes it, he's gonna get made fun of.
Yeah.
But I guess Taylor likes running her hands through back hair. I don't know.
And you
But
don't think that they were hiding out because they just don't want to deal with Blake or Ryan or
I
that
I
whole.
think that is all part of it. I think they are actively sh actively making sure that they are not in the public eye.